Hi everyone, this is Extra Profit, EXXXX. Wait, how many seasons are we on? 4? 5? So each season we tack on another X. So it's Extra XXXXX Profit. And of course, my co-hostess with the mostess. What's her name again?
Ella! Elegy!
Elegy.
That's it.
Yeah. I was kind of expecting more of an opening, but we work with what we got. Anyway, we have a very fun guest today. We have original Season 2 Queen, by which original I mean the Season 2 that we got, because there's only one Season 2. Landyn Towers is in the house today. Landyn, honey. How you been? How are you doing?
Hey babes, just flew into Del Sol Valley to do this and I'm feeling divine.
So as everybody knows, Landyn Towers is one of 2 runner-ups for Season 2. She tied with Zaltis for second place runner-up of Season 2 because the twist of that season, spoiler alert, we got 2 winners, Bambina Von Bimbo and LMNOP. Landyn, where to begin? You must have felt like on Cloud 9 making it to the finale, but just being so close to winning and not getting it. But like, I mean, everybody when they talk about Season 2, they talk about, oh, Landyn the assassin, the dancing queen, the lip syncer. I mean, is that kind of the legacy you were expecting to get?
Also, I just want to interject and put out there that I came in 3rd place. Not 4th place, 3rd place. I was there too. I just didn't get to lip sync.
It feels weird looking back on it. Season 2 was like almost 4 years ago now, and people back then were saying, my god girl, you should have been gone home ages ago. And it's like, I get it. People have their favourites, and to be fair, I was in the bottom a lot that season. But today people are calling me the assassin of the season and not the loser of the season, so that's wild to see that. Don't get me wrong, I'll take being an assassin over a loser any day, even though I truly did lose in the end.
So let's talk about your time on Season 2. Like, Ella has told me a lot about herself. But I want to hear about Landyn's story. I want to hear about your time on Season 2. Obviously, the first thing that comes to my mind is the makeover challenge, where there are some of us from Season 1, like 5 or 6 of us. I was there, Galaxy was there, Lapis was there, Caliente was there, Fortuna was there, Shadow was there, and it was that funny little, like, you know, the little thing where I kind of threw Elegy under the bus, and, you know, she's all mad, like, oh, you're an asshole, and, it was completely rehearsed, you know, TV time, yay, we cashed out, it worked.
And it did work. We get more TV time.
And I was thinking, what about Landyn's feelings? I mean, everyone's just kind of like, oh, like, Ephedra should be in the bottom, or Landyn and whoever should be in the bottom.
If we're specifically talking about that one episode, yay, I agree with the consensus that I should have been in the bottom. I actually disagree with the sentiment that Ephedra should have bottomed. She was gold as far as I'm concerned, and that might be bias talking because she's my friend.
Let's talk about Ephedra. How do you feel like the season has affected your friendship and partnership, if at all? I mean, obviously, the association between me and Elegy is alive and well, to everyone's shock
And disgust.
despite the fact of what was going on that stage on TV. Literally nobody could have foreseen either of us working together in the same room.
We're good. We're still besties. She's been consistently booked and blessed since Season 2 ended, and I've been working on a little side hustle while picking up drag gigs from time to time.
Does that mean you're not, like, fully invested in drag at the moment? Like, you know, are you taking a hiatus or you quit? I ask because the wording of it kind of sounds like maybe you're not really doing drag as much at the moment.
I did take a break for a while after filming had ended. I was burned out from Drag Race and drag in general and spent some time doing other things to fill the vacuum.
So, we're going to circle all the way back to my intro for this episode when I mentioned original season 2. Did you know anything about the original season that Galaxia actually hosted and filmed prior to the great studio fire, hard drive collapse of 2020, whichever version of the story you agree with? Did you know anything about that, like the cast or the plot, any of that?
No, not at all. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
So you didn't know anything about the original casting call for season 2, like you didn't audition or apply for it or anything? Interesting.
Well, I knew that they were casting for the second series after Galaxia had won. And I actually had considered auditioning, but this was back in January of 2020, and I was already bombarded with gigs.
Do you know if Ephedra casted, if she applied or auditioned to be on the second season? Did she tell you any of that?
Ephedra was actually the one who brought it to my attention that they were casting, and we applied together and got cast for season 2 in late 2020 because it was almost New Year's, and we were like, oh, what the hell, why not? We never thought we'd actually get cast on the show.
And come 2021, we see the previews for Morgan's Drag Race Season 2. Morgyn returns as host. And we see among the cast Ephedra and you, Landyn Towers, who would go on to be the acclaimed lip-sync assassin of the season. Even I don't have that title for my season. That would probably, if I had to guess, either Caliente. It would probably just be Caliente. Maybe Jacqueline Queen. I only had to lip-sync twice. And I never sent anybody home. So I'm a once-off survivor, and that's it. But I'm good at avoiding the bottom, basically.
It feels surreal. That's already been more than 2 years since the season wrapped up, and we all went home. Most of us were excited to see the end result on telly. Meanwhile, I was dreading it because I knew people were going to fuming at me for sending Ephedra home with her 2 wins.
What about that? How did Ephedra feel about you sending her home? I know on stage, because I was there, she said that if she had to lip sync, it would be against you. I kind of got the impression that she didn't really feel like she should have been the bottom, and I know that you share that sentiment as well. In hindsight, it does kind of feel like people just kind of suddenly agreed, yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go. After Shadow said what she said, everyone was just unanimous, yeah, she needs to go, she needs to go. And honestly, I just didn't really see it that way.
No hard feelings, she said it then and there, and we all know what the end result was. I think you're right about that groupthink suddenly being unanimous about sending her home. I was like, you what? Are you lot blind? Clearly the girl is gorgeous and talented as hell and put a unique spin on it. Jeez.
You think we should, storm Starfang Productions, capture the producers and Morgyn at gunpoint, and have them refilm that half of the season and put, Ephedra back in the running and get rid of someone else, I don't know, Ella, she's expendable, right?
Hey! That's bullshit!
And I think the season would be better off for it. I think we would all benefit from it.
That's funny. Yay, let's storm the offices and demand our recompense on behalf of Ephedra, the People's Queen. I mean, bitch, she's stunning and deserves a redemption at some point, and when she does, she's going to devour, no crumbs left.
Let's talk about the judging for the season. Did you primarily agree with most of your placements and the judges' critiques? And this can be about yourself or other queens' critiques and judgments. Or did you then and still kind of now hold some kind of disagreement, resentment about production and the judges' decisions?
I think for the most part, I agreed with their judgments. The earliest one I know that I really did disagree with was putting Ella MNOP in the bottom, because she was like one of the few queens who actually understood the assignment of thrown together looks. Oh, and Darren Leak, she knew the tea and should have won that challenge in my humble opinion.
Did you have any doubt that you were going to make top 4 for the season 2 finale? Because I knew that I was going to be at least top 6. And if you know the messy history of season 1 Morgan's Drag Race, a la the Extra cut, yeah, what I'm named for, or what it's named for me, then you know that I was there right up until almost the finale. Was that the same case for you, or was it kind of like, because, you know, production, they flip-flop and all of that?
Honestly, I was prepared to go home after my first bottom. Yeah, I was so assured that Exxtra would be the successful one making it to the finale, and I would be watching from home and rooting for her on the telly. So it's quite the odd twist that fate took when the reverse happened, and she went home while I went on to the finale.
So you pretty much knew at that point that you were definitely bound for the finale then, at that point. I mean, that's helpful. That's good to know. I mean, for me, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess production's keeping me around. I might go home tomorrow. I mean, I definitely knew I wasn't going to make the finale, but I was going to be close to the finale.
Oh, for sure. After Exxtra left, I knew I was finale bound. There just really wasn't that much to choose from, aside from the obvious favourites of Bambina, Elle, and Zaltis. No offence intended, Ella.
And none taken.
Okay, let's look at your life post-Drag Race. Would you consider returning to compete for, like, a Versus the World or an All-Stars type of situation, maybe just on a different franchise by a different host altogether?
When I first finished up Drag Race, my answer was a solid no. But after a few years, I can feel that competitive fire burning up, and I'm wanting to compete again, to see Morgyn and the judges again, and just feel the thrill of competitive entertainment again.
Who do you think would be your biggest competition on, like, a future All-Stars or Versus type of competitive season? Like, out of all the pool of non-winning queens, who do you think would be your biggest competition?
That's a good question. I'd say probably Lapis for sure. She was like so close to winning her season. I'd also probably say Kim Brule because she's a bitch. Lastly, I think Dahlia and Zoara would definitely make me work for it in a lip sync for sure.
My answer would probably be Honey Marie Combs and her uncanny ability to remain undetected from the judges. This bitch could probably make it all the way to the finale just on her ability of being safe alone. I wish I had that ability. Of course, I actually managed to get wins on my season, so there's that.
And now, a brief word from our delicious sponsor.
Which is totally, definitely a genuine, legitimate sponsor, and in fact not a fake ad placement, so that we can take a vending machine and a smoke break. It's totes legit, people. Totes.
That's the drink of the streets.
Alcohola.
What's up?
For real motherfuckers.
You being marketed at now, homie.
For shizzle!
Alcohol is a unique malt beverage.
A combination of everything that makes a memorable evening.
Malt liquor and caffeine.
Malt liquor!
Malt liquor, caffeine, janky than a motherfucker.
With just a little cuckoo thrown in.
It's a good time blackout in a can.
What's up?
You blacking out, asshole.
I'm blacking out!
Alcohol keeps the party going.
Even if you won't remember any of it.
That's what's up.
Alcoholic!
Alcohol.